Well, hello everybody.
Hello out there, everybody.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing well today. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. There is my sissy and my brother-in-law. Hey, sissy. I'm still sneezing and nose dripping, sissy, but it's allergies. I'm not sick. And then there's Dee Dee and George. Hey,
Hey,
y'all.
George.
Linda Langdon's here.
Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Good afternoon. Good
I hadn't
evening.
looked at that video you sent me yet. I just thought about it. I looked at the email the other day, Linda, and forgot all about it, honey. Child, I've been doing too many things. John Greason's in the
John
house.
Grayson J.
Pastor Norman's in the house.
Norman J.
And I know there's some more of you out there. You're just not saying anything, but I'm glad you're here, and we're happy to have you. You feeling pretty good today? You walked twice today.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
You
that.
don't remember?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You walked this morning with baby girl and myself.
Oh, yeah. I
And got caught in the rain.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, and then
I went to sleep. That's what I said.
Then you walked this evening.
Usually when I go to sleep and come back like another day, to me.
Well, yeah, I guess that could happen.
Yeah.
You have to really go into a deep sleep to wake up like that.
I do.
Yeah, but anyway, you felt pretty good today, didn't you?
Yeah, fairly well. I just
fairly partly cloudy.
Yeah, a little cloudy and rainy and stormy a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm still here.
You're still here. Exactly. I got something I want to show you. It's a little clip from TED Talks. Thought it was really interesting, and it kind of confirms and validates some of the things that you've heard us say and other spiritual teachers have said as well about how we're not really seeing reality. So anyway, I wish more people were watching, but I'm going to go ahead and play it so we can benefit from it and possibly discuss a little bit about it, okay? So let's do that. Let me just go to it right quick. I have to put it on the stage. Let's see. I'll get there in a second. Wow. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that something? We don't see reality. We see our reality. So we have our own internal world based on our perceptions. I had to listen to that several times before I realized that they weren't saying what he said they were saying. But when we expect a certain thing, that's the mind just automatically accepts it. So it's like the mind doesn't have the ability to determine what is true or false.
Right. I got you.
It doesn't have that ability. Good evening, Marveda. I'm glad you're here, honey.
Good to see you.
Yeah. So what did you think of that? If I didn't even ask you if you could hear and see us, but what did you think of that? Or do I need to play it one more time just so you guys can get it? I had to look at it several times. Did you get it when you first looked at it?
No, when I first looked at it, I had to look at it a few times.
Okay, let me play it one more time, just to see. Let's see if we do it one more time. One more time. Did you catch it this time? Because he said he was playing this recording. That is embarrassing. This is what he said it was going to be saying. But then when you go back and listen to it and seeing the sentences on the screen, it wasn't that at all.
Then it was totally different. That is embarrassing. And it sounds totally different.
So he said, and this is so true, we're not seeing reality. We're not hearing reality. We are, yeah.
Okay, I hear it now.
We're actually experiencing our reality. And it's based on pretty much the filters.
And when you say Yahweh with breath and not with your lips and tongue, it sounds different. But you can hear it inside of the breath.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really, really cool. Wow. So that there is so much now information out here to prove that we are much, much more than our minds. Our minds lie to us, not deliberately. It's a faulty mechanism. It's a faulty mechanism.
It sure is.
And Marvita says we process according to our program. Yeah, we sure do. We definitely do.
Okay.
What you got on your plate tonight?
Well, I was talking to you today about some things that I run across in memory of our contracts and how we came here. And then I looked here and I saw something in the book much deeper than what we are really looking at in our brick and mortar and our concept of being saved and not saved and all that. And one of the things that stood out to me when it said that Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice and yielded up the ghost of his spirit self inside of his body, which was us inside of him too, as well as inside each other. And it said that the veil of the temple rent in twain from top to bottom, and the earth did quake and the rocks rent.
Yeah.
And then it said, this is the mystical side of this that has completely, totally not anything. If this is true, it is a story. But I found out that even in the course and in this book, there's a much deeper esoteric meaning that was said by spirit than what we hear when we read with our eyes.
Yes. And that goes back to what we just watched. Most people read the Bible or any sacred text, and they skim the surface. And there's an exoteric meaning and an esoteric.
When I get through, I want you to share as much as you can about that lady we saw in the doctor's office yesterday, about what you saw about reading.
Yeah.
Okay. And it said, and the graves, after Jesus had died on the cross and the earthquake, it said the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, came out of the grave, came out of the tomb, the grave, after his resurrection, and went into the holy city and appeared unto many. That's spooky, ain't it?
Yeah.
That sounds like Hollywood, don't it? Okay, then when the centurion that were with him watching Jesus saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly this was the Son of God. Now, these people supposedly defied, the book here contradicts everything that it says about confessing with your mouth and believing with your heart, and you'll be saved. These people were saved
without that.
Now you made it very simple. These people were saved without
that
ritual that we said and we preach and we talk in the street. If we went into this thing underneath the surface of what it is saying, everything that is in religion and in doctrine and everything would be changed completely.
Years ago, we had a book, and we still have it. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of it, but it was talking about communication. And we learned at that time, we learned through that book about the meta message.
Yeah. We
the
studied
meta
that.
message. So with inside of everything that is communicated, there is a message inside of the words that you hear. And it's so the scriptures, any other sacred text, it will have the surface narrative, and then there is a message underneath the surface of it. Or some people would say there is a mystery hidden inside of the scriptures or inside of that text. There are undetected knowledge. There's undetected knowledge that the conscious mind wouldn't pick up, but the mystical self would pick it up.
And we often hear said that the world was created by the word, and we think it was these words on this page, but it was created by God, not using a mouth or a lip. That was a lady that had a near-death experience. I mentioned this, and Jesus appeared to her, and he said he was appearing to her according to the way she could see him.
Yes.
But yet he said he was going to reveal to her
what he really looked
like. And when he did, she didn't see anything but light. Yes. Now, he said in the book, if this book is true, underneath that we are the light of the world, which means we are the same light that he is as the same light that we are.
So what is the message behind the message?
Oh, now that is the message. And that tells me that when she came back, she had a message to preach or to talk about, but it was not a message of traditional religiosity,
right?
Nor was it a spirituality message that some say that was not true. It was beyond any words. So what was done when he created, in the book, it said Adam from the dust of the ground, he didn't say anything because there was no one to talk to. No one to talk to but himself. Exactly. And that is still the truth behind who he is talking to now in the same process. Now.
Yeah. You know, I like what Marvita said. She said, we are one with the one.
And the one with the one speaks to the only one.
The we that's one with the one is what's saying it's one with the one.
And one of the things the lady said that it was very simple for her to be able to communicate with people on the other side. And yet we teach that if you communicate with anybody on the other side, it is necromancy and seance and all that stuff, and it's occultic and it's of the devil. But if that's the case,
yeah, the church says.
Yeah, but if that's the case, in many cases, then we need to stop communicating with spirit on the other side, or is there an other side for spirit? Because it proves that if the book is correct, anybody that communicate with Jesus now or the Holy Spirit has to communicate with the other side.
Well, I'm glad you mentioning that. When we say other side, God inside, we use those terms because we live in this dual world.
When it's finite language. It was like we go to France or Germany, if we don't understand how they talk, then we won't have any way of understanding their lifestyle.
Yes, we won't be able to communicate.
No communication.
Yes, so we have to have some means of.
But God is universal communication.
Yes, so that made me what you made me think of was, and I kind of wrote some things down while we were getting ready for tonight. We talk about oneness. We talk about our authentic, true self. That self that is essential. That is non-physical, and it is not personality. And I went all the way back in the day when we were learning about what the soul is. And I remember the scripture in Thessalonians 3, I think it is, 1 Thessalonians 3, where it says that God will sanctify us wholly, WHOLLY, meaning completely and entirely, spirit, soul, and body. So it kind of broke down man as a tripartite.
Body is not left out, no soul. That's right.
And so that made me think about what is the soul. Now, it's interchangeable in a lot of our conversations. Soul and spirit can be the same thing, but there's also the soul that is like the innermost. Let me remind myself of what I wrote in my notes. The soul is the further expansion of this unit that we believe ourselves to be. It's not necessarily spirit, but it is spiritual. And it's the medium between the body and spirit. If
Like
we-
a bridge.
and I'm breaking us up now. I'm kind of breaking us into pieces. But it's like the creature, it's the creator and the creature mode. In other words, God's the creator and I'm made in his image. That's soul talk. Oneness talk is only God is here. There is only one. But soul talk is God is my father. He's a creator and all of us are created in his image. That's soul talk. And it is dualistic. But still necessary for the part of us that is psyche, the psyche, and we learned this that the mind it's necessary for the mind, it's necessary for the emotions, it's necessary for the will. So when you talk about near-death experiences, you're studying people who have learned more about the soul and learned more about that medium that we find ourselves to be while we're in this unit as this unit. So that is where soul work comes in. So I want to see it like this. If the body is the suit that we wear, the soul is the underclothes.
Oh, in other words, the soul is the bloomers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's just another level.
The soul is the fruit of the loom.
It's just another aspect of consciousness. It's okay. The body is the suit, then the soul would be the underwear. That's the best I can explain.
Or the stockings.
So it's so as the authentic self, as the self that is one, I don't need to forgive. I don't need to heal. I don't need to learn. I don't need to practice. But as the soul, which is the mind, the will, and emotions, the psyche of this unit, the soul needs to forgive. And this is what you're finding in a lot of the near-death experiences. They're learning this.
And from own personal experience.
The soul needs to learn. So a lot of the things that we experience is because our soul needs to learn. But when we have transcended believing that we're that part of the unit, there's no need for a lesson. So there's a deeper awareness.
Then I found out.
I hope that makes sense.
It does. It does. I found out that there is a place where we are as that also removes experiences as being an illusion. Oh, that's wiped out. I mean, that is wiped out. I wrote some notes here.
Go ahead. Just for a second. I want to make sure I mention Marvita's, and we may discuss this in a moment. But she says, I see the soul as what the Bible calls the spirit. The Father is actually the spirit, and the Son is the two, soul and spirit, joining together inside the avatar. And this is what we call union. But union is still not one, because it's the junction of two.
Okay, it's still two.
It's still the soul work.
Yeah,
it's still the soul work.
Okay. We chose how we want to come into this story. We choose how we want to come and how we want to leave. Okay. Our contracts is set up by our divine, eternal, infinite self. And
this is, again, the soul talk.
That's right.
Because the setting it up, the having a script, having all of that predestined, all of that soul talk, which is nothing wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's another aspect of awareness that is not the same as oneness awareness.
We are all of this before coming here to this story, which means, watch this, forgiveness take on a different view.
And what view is that?
we set everything up here in our infinite divine self, along within the setup.
Mm-hmm.
When one wakes up to see this, they'll see that forgiveness is omitted because we already done it through the contracts. The contract itself is a story
Mm-hmm.
that we set up. And in the story, no one is exempt from the reality of it being a story, which means what is making us think it's different than a story is the ego. The ego gives off the idea that even in the story, if we don't forgive, we go to hell. But see, we set it up so that there would have to be no forgiveness. But where did that come from? Okay, here it is again. We also set it up with the Christ consciousness, the crucifixion of Jesus, and the way salvation is set up for those who will not go any further.
True.
And
True.
can't see any further. So even that was planned before the foundation of the world. So everything is a turnaround.
I agree. I agree
Yeah.
with that. Yes.
Now,
yes.
some might have disagree about what did he get. I said that one time. One guy said, "Well, what did Jesus die for?" You saying he didn't go to the cross? Yes, he did, or he didn't. It doesn't matter if we made this contract.
For the soul.
That's right.
For the soul that needs to learn, the soul that needs to heal, the soul that needs to forgive, the soul that needs to practice, the soul that needs to make restitution.
Now, here's what the contract did. The contract set it up so we forgive and are forgiven already in our contractual identity.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Question?
Yeah.
I don't know whether to answer that.
I don't know if you can either. I don't know if I can. I'm just saying. Okay. Let me go back to my oneness awareness.
Okay.
Where there is nothing else but God as the absolute.
Look out.
In God dreaming itself to be the many.
That's right.
Dreamed me as a unit.
That's right.
That unit is a soul.
Right.
It has a body. Okay. It is spirit. It is the same as its maker, same as its as that one that is dreaming it. It is the same as. There is then a program. I'm going to say it like that. That was placed inside of the psyche or the soul of that unit.
There we go with the contracts.
Yes. We planned our conditionings.
That's right. That's right. So in the contract, we put in there forgiveness, knowing already that the whole thing is a setup.
We planned it.
Okay, here's what I put down here. Salvation is one of the events that is given to us to forgive in the contract. This is not the only way to forgive. Forgiveness is not the only way. The way we say forgiveness ought to be done is not done by one particular way. It is done. I've sensed that. We forgive and can forgive based on our contract. We set it up. And that means that a lot of people on the other side that was over here that said, "I'll never forgive you," in their true identity, they have.
In their true identity, they never were offended.
Never was offended in the contract.
Yeah. But the soul, or I should say, their mind might have been offended. Their emotions might have been offended.
Yeah. But that
their desires might have been offended.
That's right.
Yes.
All kinds of forgiveness came through our contract. We put every way forgiveness is to be done other than the one way that we say that have to be done by. So we must choose one of these ways.
So even reincarnation is a part of the soul process being healed. And coming into that union that Marvita mentioned. It's it coming into the awareness of being one with. joined two. And then after a full recognition, the disappearance of there being two.
Yeah. Now, what then would tell me that there are a lot of people on the other side, never been in church, never been around any church religion of forgiveness or not forgiveness, of sin, hell, death, burial, and resurrection, and all that. Never was around it. That's going to be in that dimension called what we call heaven, the eternal essence. All of us will be there eventually because it is all a story.
Well, we'll be there because we never left.
Never left.
There was never a leaving.
That's it.
Tell them about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about the perceived reality. We're not really seeing reality. We're seeing our reality.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
morning, I got to tell you this. It's funny. I was driving. Baby was riding the passenger seat.
Lord, here you go. I remember that.
Baby girl behind us in the back seat.
It's seeing reality now. That's what she's talking about. Reality.
And we go down our main street here in Kernersville. There are lots of geese. I call them ducks.
We call them ducks, but it's hundreds of them.
They're everywhere. And there are all these little watersheds where they go and they frequent.
And we've seen some of them get hit by cars.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that. But anyway, there's a slew of them. There are just a bunch of them. So we went to Burger King. He wanted a croissant this morning, so I drove him down there. We were running errands, and we picked up his croissant. And on the way out of Burger King's parking lot, there was a bunch of them. There was this one duck, piece, standing by itself.
And I said, honey, look at that one-legged duck. I said that, and I said, first thing I looked at the one-legged duck, and I said, how can he move and hop? He done lost his leg. He is a one-legged duck. He's standing there with all of them with one leg. I said,
only one had one leg.
Yeah. I said, what is he
doing? My mind immediately went to, how does he walk?
How does he walk? What I said too. I said, baby, look, there's a one-legged duck. And she said, oh, I see. He done pulled his leg up under his wing, and he was doing something with it. I don't know what was locked up.
He was just standing.
Maybe he had a cramp.
No, he's just resting on one leg.
Maybe he had an itch.
Crept up under him.
Maybe trying to scratch his boob or something up under there.
That was our perceived reality.
Maybe he's trying to scratch his duck flea. Maybe he had a bite up under there. Maybe it had a rash or something.
No one-legged duck.
Well, I saw one-legged duck this morning. I did. I saw that one-legged duck.
That's how our minds will cook up something.
I said, baby, look at that one-legged duck. And she went on down there and looked at us.
I said, no, he's got a leg. It's up under him like that.
What was he doing?
He was just standing there on one leg.
Maybe he got hit or somebody smacked him in the butt and he got the cramp.
That may be what they do. They may just every now and then stand on one leg.
Maybe he got a fight, got his butt whooped, and he got locked up in his leg and couldn't get it out.
After we left there, we laughed for about an hour, I think, just thinking about the duck.
Maybe some duck butter got stuck up in there.
You cannot trust your mind.
And that's what I saw. I saw that duck standing there with one leg like this. He's standing there one leg and the other with that.
I mean, he got so excited. You said, baby, look.
That's a one-legged duck. So we watch them all the time when we go down there because they are so ornery and fearless.
All fearless, yes.
Yeah, they are fearless. I like to get.
I just had to tell y'all that one. I had to tell you
that was a one-legged duck. I said, "Wow, that's how did." Well, at least I do know he could fly. They could fly, but how you gonna take off on the landing strip with one leg?
Yeah, Linda. Let's see what Linda said. Now, Linda said because she might say Jimmy crack corn in there. She said, "If it happens in time, it happens in the mind." Yes, it's true.
Yep, that's right.
If time,
you got it.
Yes. If time doesn't exist, this is it. If time doesn't exist, then does this all happen in the now?
Okay.
Yeah, it's still God dreaming it into existence. To have something predetermined implies time.
I'm telling you, this is something, man.
Mhm.
One-legged duck.
So I always say we are the imaginings of God. That we are, if God wasn't dreaming us into existence, we wouldn't exist.
Well, now your daddy talk about a crippled crab on a crutch.
Yeah, he did.
I thought I've seen one duck did have an accident and one leg wouldn't work, so he had to hobble on the nub.
Okay, now I've set you off in the wrong direction.
I seen a nub-legged duck walk across the street and he was hobbling, and I don't think he would last long like that because the other ducks went off and leave him, and he would die.
Don't stay there.
He would die of loneliness because
Okay,
he
we
couldn't
gotta
get
get
with
out.
the other
We
duck.
gotta get out of that.
That was duck butter, like chicken butter. It's chicken butter. Okay.
Yeah, in the scriptures, it often talks about the holy place. Well, the outer court in the Old Testament, it talks about the tabernacle.
Mhm.
There was the outer court, and then there was the holy place,
Mhm.
and then there was the holy of holies.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's kind of giving us a scenario, an example of how we are constructed.
Mhm.
There is the outer court, which is our bodies,
Mhm.
and then there is the holy place, which
Mhm.
is our psyche, or
Mhm.
in the Greek word, I think is suke, which means life and breath. It's the innermost self. But in the Old Testament, when it talks about the holy place, it was filled with mirrors
Mhm.
and candles,
Mhm.
lights, artificial light.
Mhm.
And so this is the place where the priest had a chance to see himself.
Mhm.
He had a chance to see if he was suitable to go into the Holy of Holies.
Mhm.
So that is to me, that's a symbol of the soul as it begins to do its inner work,
Mhm.
as we do our inner work. When we do the forgiving, where we do the dealing with the traumas and conditionings that we've experienced in this life, and we try to make restitution, or we bring resolve to these areas and actually bring some things to an end so that we don't carry that trauma throughout our entire life. That's soul work.
Mhm.
And we do have to do soul work. Even when we know who we
That's
are,
right.
we still
It
have
still
to do
goes
the
on.
soul work.
Because Linda, I see my buddy. She came up for the scratch. She
Yeah, that's
loved
baby
to
girl.
get her chin scratched every day. We online. This is baby girl
Yes,
here.
baby girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
So
baby.
you done? You baby girl's got your attention.
No, I'm not done.
So there are always concessions made for the soul, for the I call it the little self, the little self that we believe ourselves to be most of the time.
Mhm.
But again, it's what we truly are that already knows, so it doesn't learn.
And that means, based on what we just said, there will be people on the other side in heaven, from this side, that we thought would not make it in because they didn't forgive people like we said or thought it was religiously. But like I said,
that's us perceiving.
God provided, the God identity provides so many different ways forgiveness is to be proceeded or done.
Yes, and so when that's done, that's for those who believe they are this unit.
So the contract is set up where not anyone in there would be omitted.
Concessions were made
From eternal forgiveness. Yes. Or omitted from
even
any type of the forgiveness.
Even if they don't wake up.
That's right, even if they don't wake up. Now, to me, that should comfort everybody, but there are some ego minds that want everything to be dot and tittle from the book, paper, and ink. Now, we want everything to be the same color, outside same of that. Color. Now, we got people that have been married 4 or 5 times that are fussing over here. They're preachers fussing over here, and they get on their soapbox and practically cuss everybody out because they use the word of God, the book, and not spirit, not heart of love, to release everybody from judgment.
Yes. So Marvita says, would you say the soul work is just a part of the assignments that we complete by ourselves?
It is.
Or with our study group, soul contracts, in order to elevate to the next level? Yes. Yes. And again, it is for that aspect of awareness that we believe ourselves to be as a unit,
Mm-hmm.
and in some ways feeling apart from God, but having a connection.
What are speed
So
bumps for?
so okay, let me make sure
Okay.
I say
Say
this,
it.
and I want to
Mhm.
say it as delicately as I can.
Yep.
There is a difference
Yep.
in having a connection with God
Mm-hmm.
and coming to a self-realization that there is no you here, there is only God.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
Not that it's better,
Mm-hmm.
but it's different.
Yes, it is.
It's much more, it's much different. It is the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Marvita, in the case of what you're saying, you said it. You said, would you say the soul work is a part of the assignments that we complete by ourselves or with our study groups as soul contracts in order to elevate to the next? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. We elevate as souls.
Mm-hmm.
Your pure self
that is
does
still a
not
part of the
elevate.
story.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
your pure self does not elevate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Pure self is.
The deepest core part of you doesn't elevate.
That's right.
It's already the higher self.
The only way that the eternal self would come anywhere close to that is that what I found out in my research is that either before the fetus is formed in the womb or after the fetus is formed, spirit enters, whether inside the parents or inside of the realm of spiritual mysteries. We enter in, but in order to get in these bodies, based on what I've understood about this, we have to downsize from being universal, or is there a downside to get in the body? What I've heard from my experience and seen and communication with the other side, it is very painful for us to get in these bodies, and painful for us to come out of it in a physical little bitty suit.
Yes, easier. I've heard it is easier to come out, but it's harder to get back in.
Get back in. Right.
We've heard so many different accounts of people who had that experience. Now, Linda says this: we predetermine our so-called futures.
That's right.
By our spiritual vibration.
That's right.
When we say our spiritual vibration, we're talking about that higher self that we are. We're not talking about the soul that has to still, as Marvita says, elevate.
Yeah.
But that part of us that is already higher, it has a vibration. And he says we put out in the now. What we put out, we draw to us. Like vibration attracts like vibration.
All I know is that whatever is not eternal goes through a process, and anything that has to go through a process is not eternal.
Exactly.
That's it.
And it is the paradox.
Yeah, the paradox.
We go through the things you just said.
Yeah.
You go through that process, but at the same time, we don't really need the process.
That's right.
When we know, when we are being that higher self in our awareness, when awareness is being the higher self.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, it's a paradox. It's a paradoxical life.
Well, based on what I've also investigated, eternal life does not start at receiving Jesus as Lord and Savior. Now watch this. In Jeremiah 1:5 said, before he was formed in the belly, he was known. So being formed in the belly was not the first thing that took place.
That's not where we begin.
That's right. And before, it was before the formation, which automatically tells me that in the before, there was no place in there for forgiveness.
So that also,
or need to.
Yes, that also tells me that as this unit of awareness, we didn't begin at conception.
That's right. We didn't. We did not. No. Eve did not begin at being inside of Adam.
Now, at conception, we became a unit that we believed is separate.
That's right. That's right. Well, we done touched on a few
We
little
touched on a whole bunch of things.
heavy stuff there.
Baby girl, where are you? Where are
She,
you?
she must be in her house.
No, she's not. She's wandering around.
Uh-oh.
I heard her.
She's investigating the house.
She's doing something.
She walks around through the house like she does outdoors.
Linda says she thinks the baby girl would fit real nice right in the middle with her own chair.
They do make a chair for her, Miss Linda, as to when she have trouble with her food going past that place in her throat, where they
It's called a
set
Bailey chair.
a what?
It's a Bailey chair.
A Bailey chair where they set dogs in to eat, so they straight up, so their food won't get blocked by that mechanism in their throat.
Look,
I thought about making one.
Yeah, let me go ahead and remind everybody about what we're going to be doing with Marvita on tomorrow at 7:30. And I don't know why I didn't think to put this.
7:30.
It's going to be at 7:30.
Okay.
It's 6:30 Central Time.
Okay, I see.
But 7:30 Eastern Time, and on the West Coast it'll be 4:30.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I didn't think about. I could just put the link on Facebook for you guys to get it. So I will still send out the links through the email, but I'm going to also post it on Facebook as well. I think Marvita did that, but I had trouble getting the link on that page. So I don't know if I was doing something incorrect or what. Yeah. Girl said baby girl slipped out behind. She did. I saw her. She
did. She went out somewhere. Baby girl, where are you?
Where are you, baby? I hear her.
She's in the house.
Where are you, baby? No, she's not. I heard her bell. Where is she?
She's not in there.
Baby girl, where are you?
Oh, she's under the table.
You?
She was under the table.
Everybody's looking for you.
She was under the table. Come on
closer. Come on up so everybody can see you. Come on. There you
go. They can't see it for the advertisement, babe.
Oh. I can't get her.
Wait a minute. Hold still.
She's just stay, baby.
Stay. Okay, it's okay. Stay. It's okay. Stay.
He's not gonna stay.
You're moving on the chair.
I know, but she.
Hold still.
Now there she is.
Yeah, there she is.
There she is.
Now, there you go.
Come on up.
Now.
I don't want dogs.
No.
Anyway.
You made it.
Anyway, I think
she was hiding up under the table.
Yeah, and Marvita's talking about the soul contract conversation we're supposed to have tomorrow night. This is kind of like an intro for that.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we're looking forward to some of them telling us or sharing with us about what they know about the soul contract.
Marvita says she'll put it in the chat, and we'll both do that so that they can get the link. So we'll make sure you all get a chance to be in that. It'll be a Zoom, so we'll get to see each other a little bit.
Now, did we say anything about the funds or offerings or something?
You can mention that if you choose. Let me put how Linda's saying will we be receiving it. Yeah, I'll send you a link, Linda. I'll send it to you guys. And for those of you who don't use your email, I'll try to remember to put it. I will remember to put it on Facebook for you. Okay. And I think Marvita's going to do some things as well to help everybody get a chance to join us. In the meantime, my husband wants to mention some things.
And you can help me if you want to.
Well, you go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead. I'm going to also post. I want you to go ahead and hit the like button right now. We need to do that. And where's my things? Oh, there it is. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Okay. We found out that our funds have not been up to date as to what we originally started out with in our classes online. And we have found out that things have dropped off a whole lot. And we're in a very tight situation where we need, if you would, some of you would help us to catch up with our salaries and things in order to keep things going. We thank you for the gifts that you've given in the past, and you greatly appreciate it. It's greatly appreciated what you've done, but we need the extra funds because things are getting tight with us in our house and with some of the things around us. I'm not poor mouthing. I'm just saying, just like some of the others go through a big old money pitch about tithes and offering.
Right.
I don't go into that. I go stay where we
Yeah,
are
we don't want to go
in
there.
the normal procedure of our offering. It has dropped off tremendously from our love gifts and from our church funds. We need your help severely in this, and whatever you can do, if it's not but $1, thank you for giving that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And I put on the screen, if you want to join the conversation, you can RSVP me through lifecentercornerstone@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you get the email. Make sure your email is correct when I get it, though. Make sure it is.
And you just mentioned today about trying to find a small job, but you didn't know what we could do at the age that we are. So it's not going to be an easy thing to do for you. But I'm asking and believing that you guys, those are here and not here, will be able to send something to help us keep going. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll be back again on Thursday with a conversation with Pastor
Norman J. Hickball.
That's at 12:30 on Thursday.
Okie dokie.
And I love those conversations. We're looking forward to the conversation with Marvita on tomorrow night.
Yeah,
too.
we're gonna have a good time tomorrow night.
We're really looking forward to that. I'm gonna post that
Wednesday. That's it.
tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we love you, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Stay sweet. Stay blessed.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for coming on with us again.
What was that? What was that your mom always says? Hold
tight, Buddha Chaka. That's an old back in the 20s saying now. I don't know what it meant, but hold tight. Keep everything in the middle of the road and tie it down on both sides, and we'll see you on the turnaround.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye-bye.